Recording. Welcome to the Grace Channel, bravely creating with wild abandon that which sets our hearts on fire. And I am so honored, I am so grateful and pleased to have this amazing gentleman to highlight and be on our show. He is from Las Vegas, Nevada. His name is Luiz Oliveira. I had it all memorized.
Oliveira.
Oliveira. Okay. And he has Samba Latte. Samba Latte is a coffee, lounges, and espresso bar. He's got 4 of them in Las Vegas. We're so excited that he is still open. He is still running. They are very special, very amazing coffee shops. And I won't say too much about him because I'm going to let him tell you all about his sustainability and the social aspect of what he's creating, which is amazing for people in Las Vegas, Nevada. So Luiz, thank you for being here on the show.
No, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. And very excited to be part of your show.
Thank you. I have some questions for you.
Okay.
My very first question is if you could just share with us your background.
I was in the hotel business for 28 years when I start this project, and it is I really love the hotel industry, and until I got laid off in 2009 during the crisis that we had, the economic crisis that we had all over the country. And I was here in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas took a big hit, and I could not find a job, even I was willing to move to another state. But this project, the Samba Latte, was a project that I was working on, and I decided to continue as a part because I was doing the research, being a food and beverage business as a hotel executive for all those years. I had a lot of experience in the field, and I start saying, that's what I'm going to do now.
Wow, that's
And
beautiful.
being a food and beverage business, I have an opportunity. I lived all over the country. I mean, on the West Coast, on the East Coast, Midwest, Southwest, on the North, and the Southeast as well. I live in the Caribbean for 4.5 years. And I'm originally from Brazil, and I used to work in the hotel business in Rio de Janeiro. Even I went to hotel school in Chicago in the early 80s.
Wow, so you have all the knowledge and all the experience, and you know people in different areas, different cultures, and you put it all together, all that food and beverage hotel experience that you had, and you created this amazing creation called Samba Latte.
Thank you.
Lounge and espresso bar, and we're going to hear so much more about it. So how did you get started with Samba Latte and your business?
Samba Latte, even I did a small video talking about, because a lot of people ask me, why Samba Latte? How did you come up with the idea? Why a coffee shop? And I remember, and I was a kid growing up in Rio, and my parents used to take us occasionally. Back then, didn't go out much often as we do now. And this place called Confeitaria Colombo, and it was an absolutely beautiful place that was built in the late 1800s and looked like a palace. And every time I go to Brazil, I have to go over there. And as a kid, probably I was 9, 10, 11, 12, and used to go there. Man, wouldn't it be amazing to have a place like this? But it was just a kid, and life goes on, and I went to the hotel business, a career that I really want to be a hotelier. And I always enjoy coffee as well. Was one of those things that my great-grandfather used to have a coffee farm in Brazil back on the 50s, 60s, 40s, somewhere around there. And my mother grew up at the coffee farm. And she used to tell a lot of stories about coffee. And I remember drinking coffee since I was maybe 6, 7, 8 years old. And it was part of the culture. And I always liked coffee. And I always loved coffee. And I remember this was in 1999. I was living in Puerto Rico and sitting one day at the beach. And I used to go windsurf a lot and waiting for the wind to come up and sitting there and thinking about what is going to be my future, my career. And I was back then 40 years old. And I said, what am I going to do now? And should I open my coffee shop or should I continue my career in a hotel? But you're always thinking, okay, I want to shift my career to be move from hotel executive to be my own business. It is quite difficult because I mean, you make a great income, you have your benefits, you have your experience, and you work for a company for a long time. You have that stability that you have, and you never want to rock your own world. But at the time, Starbucks, Coffee and Bean, and Pete's was a huge explosion all over U.S. But I started researching and my development, and I traveling to Europe, making notes, taking pictures. And in 2000, and the idea was brewing really fast on my heart to do it, but the courage to do it. And it's very difficult to say, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to leave and I'm going to be a business owner. And in 2005, this location where we are here, we talked to the landlord rep. And after our meeting and the cost, and I said, there's no way we're going to be able to afford a place to have a coffee shop paying that much money, because was at the time it's still a good location. And I left to say there's no way, but I started never gave up the idea, always in my mind. So when it was in 2009, I remember January 2nd, I show up to work, and a couple hours later, my boss called me and said, "Hey, Luis, I need to speak with you." And I thought it was not expecting him to tell me, "Hey, by the way, your position has been eliminated as yesterday, but we have a job for you to go to Florida," which I went to Florida, St. Petersburg, and I decided not to stay. And I told my wife, I said, I'm going to pursue now to do the coffee shop, even though I was looking for a job. So it was summer 2009, I said, that's it. I'm not going to look for a job, and I'm going to make this idea to happen because it is very deep in my heart to do it, and I have to do it, and I'm going to do it. And so was challenged to the financial, find money to do the project, and then end up and say, okay, we're going to make this happen no matter what. And we did, but it is all good. I mean,
I am so inspired. It sounds like with your grandfather and your mother growing up and around the coffee plantation, and you know, it's in your roots, it's in your background, your family background, and even as a child, seeing that first coffee shop and saying, oh, I'd love to have a shop like this. It's like destiny. It seems like it was destiny. However, it's not been easy. And I think that's important for other people to hear, people that are wanting to start another business, or people that, you know, are struggling at the time, or people that are wanting to support local, because it's not easy for business people. I told you before we started, I had John's Place coffee shop and juice bar, and I had to close it down because of the pandemic. Was losing money, and I was telling you, you know, it's either lose my house or the business, and I wanted to keep my house. So I just acknowledge you, Luis. This is something that took a lot of courage and a lot of stamina, and you had to keep going. And it is not easy to start a business. It takes a lot of money, a lot of courage, a tremendous amount of work and dedication, and you stuck through it. You did it. You got to that point where you were committed. We're going to do this no matter what. And seems like that's when it happened. You know, that's when it happened for you.
I say all the time that everybody can have an idea. Everybody, I have a great idea and I want to do this. Okay, do it. But very few people have a vision of the idea, how they want to do it. And you go to another level, be able to execute your vision. And one thing about a small business, and everybody can open a coffee shop, everybody can open a restaurant, everybody can open everything they want. But we have to understand now the market is extremely competitive. And if you don't have the ability to innovate and be creative and evolve every day as the business change, you're going to stay behind and you're not going to go anywhere. And you're going to hit the wall. That's why they say small business after 5 years, they fail. And after 10 years, they'll fail as well, because you take your ride until you staying behind, because everybody come up with a great idea behind you every day, some great idea. And you have to stay on the top of those kind of stuff.
It's very true. It's very true. It's very true. You have to keep evolving with the business and with everything and keep the creativity flowing. And it is not easy to be in business, especially your own business this day. But you did your research and you did all your homework, and you've been working on it for years and years, and the education that you had with hotel management has all kind of set you up for this. So I have another question for you. This is the big one.
Okay.
So tell us all, how do you manage to survive during this pandemic? That's what I'm curious about.
It is a good question. And some days I have like, oh my God, I can't believe it that we're still standing here. I remember March 17 was a Tuesday that when the governor of Nevada announced that they did a conference call, but I didn't listen to. And the PR lady for the shopping center, she called me and said, Luis, just let you know, everything's shutting down today as a midnight. You are part of Essential, and you're going to be able to be open, but no seating. Hello?
Are you there? I see a beautiful mountain
Yeah,
scene,
hold on.
but I don't see you.
Yeah, a call came in here.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a minute.
It's beautiful mountains. We are with Luiz Oliveira, who has Samba Latte coffee shop and espresso bar in Las Vegas, Nevada, 4 espresso bars.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So you were just saying you had just gotten the call that the city's closed down, but you're essential.
Sorry, because somebody called me. I didn't. But
That's
anyway,
okay.
so I remember when March 17, I got this call at 5 o'clock, and I was sitting here in my office, and I put my hand in my head and said, my God, this is going to be the end of everybody. And how are we going to survive this? And I went home, and I was really bothering me a lot. And I remember the next day we came in, and one of my employees didn't have the key, and I have to come in, and I usually have people already waiting. There was nobody waiting, no cars on the street. And I was like, really bothered me. And I was like, man. And that day we did $100 in revenue. And I say, oh my goodness, this is going to be my end. How am I going to survive? How am I going to navigate the storm? And immediately people start coming, and we reduced the staff, and I was here, show up to work every day. Matter of fact, for about 6 weeks, I didn't have a day off. I was coming every day. And on the first week, I told my wife and one of my guys, and I said, maybe I talked to with the food rep for Cisco and US Foods. They have plenty of toilet paper, pasta sauce, rice, and all those things. And I'm thinking to start selling in the store, so at least drive people in, and the people buy the coffee as well. And my wife, well, but I think people's gonna hit us hard and say that we're taking opportunity, advantage, and everything. And I say, no, we sell for And I mean, making 25, 50 cents, maybe $1 in each product that we sell, and at least to pay, I mean, labor and time, the product staying here. And we did, and we featured on the TV, local TV, and they liked the idea. People start coming, and even some people, I mean, that is now, people are so mad. People said that we're gouging price. I don't know what they're looking at, because all the product that we have was high-end quality product. Like if you go to a Smith's and if you go to a Whole Foods, you have the pasta, not the same brand. You might pay twice more for the pasta that you find at Whole Foods versus the pasta that you buy maybe at Costco or the Smiths or whatever, because the quality, the brand, and so forth. And I explain people, it is the brand, the quality, it's not cheap. And even when I showed one, the guys, look, that's not how much I pay, man. I'm not making money in this. I'm just trying to be part, just to create movement for people to come in.
Right.
And we came up, and I gave free muffins for the whole time for about 48 days. You come here, Samba Latte, buy a coffee, and get a free muffin to drive people to come in. At least you get something for free, because immediately we notice people start cutting back. People who drink a latte with the extra milk, with the extra shot, with the extra syrup, and all the alternative milk. Everybody start cutting back, because everybody start feeling afraid of the expenses. And I said, okay, we need to make change, and we adjust, and we're glad we got the PPP, which helped us a lot, because if we didn't get the money, we wouldn't be able to stay, because it was so fast, and your money can go only until certain days, and then you run out of money, and you say, what am I going to do now? How am I going to keep paying the bills? You're going to default my rent, default the vendors, and how am I going to pay payroll? And that is, people sometimes don't understand how difficult it is for a small business, because I don't have a line of credit for a big bank behind us to really keep funding money and to pay you. And so we have managed to survive, and it has been a very long journey. It was supposed to be 2 weeks, and now it's 8 months. And we make such this a big deal with such fear. And in May, the governor opened up the restaurants. Okay, great. And I start business picking up. And I said, okay, yes, that's great. And a couple weeks later, they said, everybody have to wear a mask everywhere you go. Mandate mask. Boom. The business immediately took a dive nose. And since then has been kind of choppy. And I think last week I started seeing more people. I think just people are sick and tired and say, I need to get out. I need to take control of my life. Life goes on. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to keep going. And if I die, I'll die.
Yeah, exactly. So tell us briefly, this, what is special about Samba Latte versus if they went to one of the regular coffee shops in town? What is different and special about Samba Latte?
I think I would say the special it is because we are among very few in the country, I can say, and say we are from farm all the way to the cup. I go to Brazil every year. I meet the coffee producers. We buy their coffee. We do a direct trade. We bring to U.S. We roast. And all the producers, all the beans that we have, they have a full sustainability and traceability, very high quality and consistency on the drink that we make. It's not because of my coffee, but one thing I can tell you, our coffee, it is really good. It is a high quality, very competitive with any specialty brand out there. And I tell my guys all the time, it's not important to be the best today, but how we're going to be the best tomorrow, because the bar is endless. We have to keep raising the bar. That's what we're talking about, innovation and be competitive, creativity, because it is. And you can go on a place that looks horrible, that a hole in the wall, but the food is good, the product is good, you go back.
Yeah.
But if you go to this place, very fancy, beautiful, elegant, but it is not, products not good, the service not good, most like you won't go back. Or you go back because of convenience.
Yeah.
And we focus a lot, being a hotel business in the industry for so many years and working a 5-star, 5 diamonds resort. The service is top notch. And I try my guys to deliver the same type of service on the daily basis for our customers, because I tell service, it is very important. The product, we have a great product. We have a great atmosphere. It's a great place. And now we need an outstanding guest experience so they can get out here and they say, man, this was the best coffee I ever had. The service was amazing. And the baristas was a very knowledge. And I tell the guys and say, we don't have a mediocre barista or average barista. Either you're a good barista or you don't belong to here. Because if you want to be an average employee, just if you go, maybe should work on some other place that those type of service I accept. Otherwise, they are not. Because I don't accept.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's amazingly powerful. Samba Latte, you have the environment and the atmosphere. You have the high top quality product that you get direct from the farms that you visit and you have relationships for. And then you have the best service, the baristas, and you insist on it. And that is you, Luiz. That is you that insists on that. And so you've set your bar high and people come back. They know that they're going to get all those three things, the service, the high quality, and the atmosphere of
one thing I tell some of the guys sometimes, they say, if you want to provide a mediocre service, I'll tell you straight up, I'm not gonna lower my bar because of you. Either you get here, or maybe you trying to find another way to maybe find another job that they're gonna accept your mediocre type of service, because I don't accept, because there's one of those things, being in the industry for now, say 38 years in the food and beverage industry. And wherever I go, travel, stay in hotels, and my wife said, stop working. I always judge about service and watching the staff, how they work, how they interact, everything, because it shows the leadership, who runs the business, of the management of the hotel.
Yeah.
And I never forget, in late 80s, when I used to work for Hyatt hotels, was a boss. I used to say, listen, if the manager cannot smile, that means your staff is not going to smile. And always that thing really stayed in my mind and very true. And I was telling one of my guys the other day, I have a boss that he's still my friend, but he was very tough on me. And he used to tell me, listen, everything that you're going to do for me, if it is not 5-star plus, don't bother do it. Because I'm going to go back and kick your butt, because I don't accept that. And so there's all those things that really help me to keep my standard high and never compromise my standard because somebody else won it. If the drink that you make, doesn't look good, it's not going to taste good, don't give it to the guest. Because if it is not good for you to drink, neither myself drink, it's not good for the people. I wanted them to leave here and say, this is the best drink I ever had. Your coffee tastes better day after day. We have so many people that tell me that. I say, great, that's what we want to hear. You work hard for that.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Wow. Well, thank you for being on this highlight, Luiz.